Ah, it's that time of the day. I can finally relax and watch my show, Solo Leveling, who has won the award of Anime of the Year. I can't wait to chill and watch a show packed with an awesome story and beautiful scenes. Yes, I'm not joking. Somehow this show has won around 6 awards last year. How, you ask? Well, let me explain. I don't know either. What the fuck is happening to anime fans right now, man?
I'm about to fucking nut.
So of course I might be exaggerating just a little bit, just a tiny bit, but what the hell is actually happening to anime fans and anime itself in the big 25, man? Anime itself has changed a lot throughout the years, of course. We've moved from action-packed scenes and stuff in the 90s to fantasy and supernatural powers in the 2000s, till the isekai slope as we know of today. We are also moving to an era where Chinese donghwas and Korean manhwas are getting adapted with whole animation studios behind them. Not gonna lie, there are some bangers and I fully support the idea of, getting these manhwas and donghwas adapted. I mean, take a look at Peak of the Mysteries, the anime that's airing right now. It's a donghua. I genuinely hope the quality keeps up and future anime will follow the same path. But my god, there are some real stinkers these last few years, man. Ever since we moved from fantasy slope to isekai slope, things have not gotten better at all. I thought we would improve, but holy shit. And don't even get me started on the romance side of things, man. I mean, I get it, when I was in middle school a few years ago and high school, I would occasionally watch some romance at like high school settings before, but we don't need more of these, man. Especially when some are just weirdly sexual for no reason. Some of these tropes, I really thought we left them in the 2000s, man. For example, a main character walks to someone changing or some shit. We don't need more of that, like, let's be real. I may be too harsh because I'm an adult now, and of course, I would not really watch something set in high school anymore because I'm not really that interested in that anymore. I'm not saying they should completely stop making these because I'm an adult and just because I'm not the target audience anymore, but it does not have to be this weird, man. What even weirds me out more is that there are just grown-ass men animating these scenes and you're like, what the fuck? I didn't know full what they're doing as well, I mean, there is an audience, but it's just weird, man. It's just fucking weird. There's even an anime airing right now called Nukitashi, I think. I don't really want to explain what it's about because it's just so weird. What the actual fuck are we doing, man? Like, I thought Shimoneta was bad, but I saw this and was like, okay, bro. And then for some reason, it has banger animation. Like, what? Why? Why does it have good animation? I don't get it, man. I really don't. I'm in need of more adult romance, Something like Botakoi, for example. There just isn't enough of this out there, I would say. At least not enough out there that are good, And I hope we can get to see more. I feel like we're already making a good start with Golden Generic Romance that was airing, I think, last season. I don't know if it's still airing. There are some more mangas, I would say, that have some really good stories as well. And I really hope these will get adapted instead of those, high school set ones. Because I really don't want to watch those, man. And I'm not going to, but if I would want to watch something that's romance related, I would rather watch something like Golden Generic Romance or Botakoi in this day and age. But there just isn't enough of adult romance out of there. So, since we're already making a good start, let's up those numbers, baby. I'm genuinely confused how some of these shows are getting greenlit though. Like referring back to the isekai slope and fantasy slope, I have no clue how these shows are getting greenlit. Why the fuck? Tell me why the fuck a show where someone got reincarnated as a vending machine is getting a second season? Why? Please tell me why. I just really hope we move to something better instead of this, isekai slope or high school romance. I'm not talking about anime itself, but the fans. I would say things have changed a lot throughout the years. People are fighting on social media, arguing about what show is better than the other show. I mean, it's a fun little argument, right? Nothing can go wrong, right? But people are just straight up turning fun into a full-on war online. Like, just a fun little argument turns into something way bigger than it has to be. And honestly, it's not that deep, man. Ever since the increase in social media sites and the access to the internet, I think people have become too comfortable online. And I mean that by a lot. Some of the comments I see sometimes, I'm like, what the fuck? You're too comfortable, man. But yeah, like, why wouldn't you argue with someone online? You know, they don't know who you are. You know, I agree. Sometimes it's also really funny to annoy a person. So you could be like, yo, you know what? Annoying this person can be funny. Let me do it some more. But it doesn't need to go further than that, you know? It doesn't need to go like way than this already. To be honest, because of this, there's just zero respect for each other nowadays on the internet online. To be fair, I get it. As I said before, it can be really funny to annoy others and make fun of each other sometimes. But this needs to be done tastefully, you know? You have these moments where you can do this and you can't. And you can especially do this when you are friends. If you're total strangers, why the fuck would you start beef online for no reason, you know? I mean, if it's a funny comment, then I get it, haha, you know? But if you keep consistently just hating on someone and like, you know, actually meaning it, then what are we doing? And I mean, funny and rage-baiting comments can be fun, but it's not really needed to turn it into something big, unless you're like a fucking lolcow or something. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off topic here, but it's important to understand this because I would say it's relevant for this video because this also connects to anime fans itself. Because of the great shift, you know, the time period where anime became mainstream, people have been on each other's necks for each other's opinion about anime, man. And it is crazy, I would say. The things I've read so far, may it be a YouTube, TikTok, or fucking Insta, whatever, you know, there has always been a big ass argument. And not gonna lie, it is kind of fun to just read it, you know, just like scrolling through the phone and you're like, why are these guys beefing, you know? It's just really not needed to do this, you know? Not to say that, you know, this has been the case after the great shift, but it's just way worse right now. Before it wasn't that bad, you know, but after this, because more people are watching anime, has become so much worse. Even though I myself have some takes I disagree with, it's not like I would attack someone who would, you know, disagrees with my opinion. Why would I do that? If I just don't agree with someone's opinion, I can at least maybe leave a funny comment or just ignore it. It doesn't need to turn into something big. Like, why can't we just leave each other be and, you know, let people enjoy things they want to enjoy? What's she doing, man? You know, who cares if someone's favorite show is Solo Leveling or just some random fucking isekai? I will kind of judge you, but still. It's not like I would watch these shows, even though I do sometimes, but I can still appreciate people's opinions and not get overly passionate about them. Unless you are my friend and I would just fucking, you know, would just flame you. There's a way to appreciate shows and a way for sharing your passion with these shows online. Unless you act like a total creep or a total dumbass, most people will not bat an eye, you know, if you say things about these shows. Okay, you know, let's not be snowflakes here though. Like, people can be passionate about what they want and do what they want, of course, but let's not mix up facts and opinions. There's a great line of having an opinion or stating a fact, you know? Some things may be just outright wrong because it's not true. For example, does Solo Leveling have a great, interesting story? Hell no! It may get better later in the manhwa. It definitely is not as good as compared to other anime. And it definitely did not deserve 6 awards. Like, what are people voting for even, bro? There were so many other shows which had so many better things. Why does it have 6 awards? But do you think it has a great story? Fine, you know? Sure, you can share this online, but I would say be prepared for backlash because, let's be real, most people don't like that opinion because it's not true. It's not an actual fact. This backlash doesn't necessarily happen every time someone says this, you know, but it usually happens when you do it in a wrong way. Like, for example, if you compare this with something that is just clearly has a better story. Let's face, for example, you're comparing Solo Leveling to Steins Gate. Of course, people are gonna get mad if you say Solo Leveling has a better story. It just doesn't make any sense. And for real, if you do think Solo Leveling has a better story than Steins Gate, then just check out your brain. Like I said before, there's a way of conveying your opinion without getting immense hate, and comparing 2 shows is definitely not one of them. It could be used as a rage bait though. I would say that's pretty good rage bait. Okay, differentiating between these 2 statements can be kind of hard, but it's not a reason for us to attack each other, you know? Especially not to an extreme extent, and definitely not when you're strangers. I said also before, I myself am guilty of, you know, making fun of others' tastes in anime and takes of anime, but I mainly do this because these are my friends, and they know everything is jokes, you know? It's like, of course you can enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. I am gonna make fun of you, but why the fuck would I care if your favorite show is Solo Leveling? Am I going to make fun of you when you say it has a great story? Yes, definitely. Especially if you're my friend. Am I going to dox you because of that? No, what the fuck? Why would I? Unless I hear something abhorrent out of your mouth that is just not even remotely true, I will leave you alone, and I hope you will do the same. Alright, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to argue about things, I guess. You're more than welcome to do this. But, you know, let's not get too political, of course. Alright, see you next video.